Hi y'all, welcome back to the Sad Girl series, and if you're new here, welcome. Sad Girl Sam here, bringing y'all another real joint, period, because y'all know these joints be real. If you watch, then you know, okay? But in today's episode, I'm just going to be talking about teen pregnancy, and y'all know I don't be like wasting no time. I'm just going to hop right into it. So if you know anything about me, or if you have watched any of my previous videos, then you know that I have a son. His name is Jet Logan. I ain't going to tell y'all his last name because that's a little bit too extra, but he's 4 years old. He was born August 4th, 2014. That's my Leo baby. I love him. And y'all know I be hyped because his birthday is the first week in August and mine is the last. So y'all know I be so hyped. But yeah, I had my son when I was 17 years old. That's him coming up the steps now. What are you doing, creep?
I can't find a switch.
What switch?
The door switch.
The what?
The door switch.
We don't have one of those.
We do.
I love you.
I love you. See you later. Gotta go.
I had my son when I was 17 years old. I got pregnant my senior year in high school. And I actually, to be completely honest, I remember saying that when I wanted a baby when I was 16 years old. I said that in the hospital. I don't, like, what really was wrong with me? I thought I knew everything. About life when I was in high school. Like, you could not tell me nothing. Like, I knew it all. But, yeah, so I remember saying that I wanted a baby, and one of the texts, he was just like, why? And I'm just like, because I want somebody that's going to love me unconditionally. And a child does love you unconditionally, but obviously, like, if you watched my the previous video, then you know, like, that was not really the type of love that I was seeking all them years. But to me, it was going to compensate for all the love or the lack of love that was there in, you know, those situations that I had going on. So yeah, I kind of spoke my son into existence. Like, that stuff is real. Like, there's really life in your words. You gotta be careful what you wish for. But yeah, so senior year of high school, I got pregnant. And you know, like, when you first get pregnant, you're really tired. I didn't know I was pregnant. I was missing class like crazy because I was just sleeping in. And I'm just thinking I'm tired. Like, no. So then one day, like, no, not even one day, 1 week. The week that I was like, I'm done with the bull. Like, my son's dead. I'm like, I'm done. Like, it really ain't nothing, you know, left for me here to do. You know, it was a mess. It was always a mess. It was always drama. It was just like, but I had finally got to that point where I'm like, I'm done. So that week, like, I just kept getting my period cramps. But my period was not coming on. So I just like, yo, like, was really good. Like, it kept happening. So then I think I literally waited like a week. Then I just took a test. And I'm like, I was nervous, but I'm like, I ain't pregnant. Like, I was just taking a test, you know, like, kind of just to take it. Because I'm like, yo, my period really ain't come on. And then I took that test, and I'm like, wow. Like, wow. And I remember, like, I told my mom, and she was just like, you know, like, whatever you want to do, like, I'm going to support you. Meaning, like, if I wanted to have an abortion, or if I wanted to, you know, like, I had put them up for adoption, or if, you know, like, I wanted to keep them or whatever, she just said that she was going to support me. So, you know, like, that was that. And I had to think about what I wanted to do. I didn't think that I was in the right head frame to you know, have an abortion or to give up my child. So, you know, obviously, like, I chose to, you know, have him and keep him. I initially got pregnant. It was like a lot of judgment, you know, because that's just the way it is. Even though I pretty much was living in the hood at the time. I live in the hood now, but like at the time I was living like on a little quiet block, like, but the hood was not far away, and I was going to hood schools. And, you know, like, it wasn't, you know, uncommon to see teenage girls pregnant. Like, I remember, like, when I was in like 9th grade and 10th grade and stuff, like, you know, girls is pregnant. So it wasn't uncommon. But there's judgment, because I'm gonna tell you where the judgment come in at, and why people are like, they're wrong for judging. Because they see all the life that you have to live. They see it, and they see how you just kind of put your life on hold to have a child. But they're not going to say that. They're just going to judge you. They're just going to give you funny looks. They're just going to say like smart things, you know, do this and that, whatever. But they're not. But they're not going to be honest with you and be like, hey, like, do you know that you're only 15, 16, 17, 18 years old? Do you know that there's like a whole life out there for you to live? There is a whole world of experiences, a world full of experiences that you should honestly consider before you have a child. You know, traveling, going away to college. You know, I know some people do go away to college and they leave their child at home. To me, that's just like, if that's what you gotta do, then you know, like, that's what you gotta do. Your walk is different from my walk, but for me, that was never gonna fly. Like, never. It's just gonna be things in life that you want to do, like that. When you have a child, there are restrictions. If you have a child and you take care of that child, not your mom taking care of your child or your grandparents taking care of your child, if you choose to literally take on the responsibility of having a child as a teenager, your life is going to have so many restrictions that the friends around you do not have. They're going to be able to go out when they want to. Like, we was 18 years old, like my friends going away to college, going to college parties, this and that. Then we turned 21 and everybody in the bars and doing this and that. Not to say that I, haven't been to a bar, but like, it's just, they don't gotta worry about, hey, getting a babysitter that they can trust, or having to pay somebody, or whatever the case may be. Like, they don't gotta worry about that. They get to come and go as they please. And when you have a child, you don't get to come and go as you please. When you have a child, you can't even work shifts that you want to work if you don't have that support. Because it was a whole bunch of time, like, I missed out on a bunch of money because it was either because I didn't have no childcare. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought for a second. And it's not like he was helping, so I missed out on a bunch of money, like a bunch. And it's just like, it is what it is. Like, I remember one time I was working and I was just paying the damn daycare, and I'm like, that's not adding up. Like, I'm not seeing no money. Like, all the money's going over here. So that's just like a bunch of things that you have to take into consideration. And people see that, especially people that been through it. But even for people that been through it, they still not going to be real enough with you, or maybe they just haven't come to that that state of awareness that instead of down talking a teenage girl that's pregnant, you should be empathetic to a teenage girl that's pregnant. You should sit down and have a real talk with a teenage girl that's pregnant instead of trying to judge her. Like, it's so easy to judge, but it's not easy to let go of your ego, and it's not easy to let go of your pride, and like, to really sympathize and be real with somebody. That's just the world that we live in, though. So that's dead. But I was looking at it like, my mom had my son. My mom had my brother when she was 17 years old. My mom had 5 of us. She had all 5 of her kids by the time she was 25. So I was like, well, if my mom can do it, I can do it. Mind you, we ain't never like get evicted. I don't ever remember the water being off, the lights being off, the heat being off, whatever the case may be. Like, we ain't have, design of this name brand that. We ain't have that. But when it came to the necessary things that we needed, we always had it. So I was looking at it like, if my mom can do it with 5, I can do it with 1. Easy, no problem. No. And although I'm doing it, it ain't easy, and it definitely ain't no problem. When it comes to raising a child, like, that's not something that you want to do alone. Like, and they won't say that either. Like, they'll just look at you and know what path you headed down, and they'll judge you, and they'll talk about you, and they'll do whatever they feel like they need to do to make themselves feel like something. I don't know. Like, it's just the ego trip instead of being real with you. Like, and that's all that it is. But I'm gonna be real with you, and I hope this video reach whoever it needs to reach. Like, don't have no baby when you're a teenager. Don't. It's so much life out here to live. Like, you can really wait to have a baby. It's not something that you need to rush, because you're going to be adult for the rest of your life. But you're only going to be this young for now. This time is going to pass. And the way I see it, like, I've been a mom my whole life. Like, I was 17 years old when I had my son, and my life is honestly just now starting to begin. And me and him already got 4 years in. So I love him to death. you know. And I know that God gave him to me. Like, my son, like, he's my hero. Like I said all the time, I tell him all the time, like, he saved my life, you know, because without him, I, you know, already expressed this, I don't think that I would be alive, and I don't even, if I'm alive, I don't think that I would be the person that I am today. So I can acknowledge the fact that, you know, God gave me my son for a reason, but everybody is not meant to have a child before they reach that frame of mind. Like me, I wasn't like, I'm gonna breastfeed my son because what they say, breast is best for your child. Okay, so I'm gonna give my child the best. I'm not worried about, I ain't had no boobs before I had my son anyway, and as you can see, like, I ain't got none now. Like, I only ever had titties when I was breastfeeding, but I'm just like, if this is what's best for my son, then I'm going to do what's best for my son. But a lot of young moms don't think like that. Like, a lot of young people, we're selfish when we're young. Like, we're selfish and we're self-centered. So a lot of girls will opt out of breastfeeding because, you know, what? They don't want saggy titties. Come on now, like, that stuff that's in that Similac, it's no bueno. Like, I'm not saying that it's gonna, you know, like, rot your child's mind or anything like that. But, you know, like, if you can breastfeed, then you should breastfeed. That's just the way I see it. So, you know, like, I was never like, I ain't look at the mom thing like I'm gonna be half-assed. Like, no. Me and Jet put a lot of time in. Like, it's just been me and my son. And if I'm going anywhere, if I can't bring my son, a lot of times I don't go because I don't like not being around him. Like, don't get me wrong, I do be needing a break because my son is a handful. Like, kids are a handful, period. But I never wanted to be that mom that just go leave her son or leave her child with whoever for days at a time, not knowing if my child eat, not knowing if my child slept, not knowing if somebody, you know, mistreated my child or whatever the case may be. Like, no, I like my son and my presence because then I know what's going on, and that's just that. That's just how I am. So, like, even like when it comes to like traveling and stuff, like, it's not that I can't travel, it's just the fact that finding a sitter, like I said, finding someone I can trust and being away from my son for that long, like, I want to go do things, like, I want to go turn up and do ratchet things with my friends too, but it's just like, who gonna watch my son? If I cannot find somebody to trust well enough to watch my son, then I just won't be going. And it happened like that for me a lot of the time, and it's going to continue to happen like that for me just because, like, you know, I'm alone in this, to be honest. Like, it's not like I have his dad here and we have a schedule like, hey, you keep him for this many days and he'll be with me for this many days. Like, I know some parents do a week on, a week off, or, you know, like, some parents do you know, like, they alternate, you know, days and weekends and all that stuff. No, it's not like that. It's just me. But they ain't gonna tell you that. They're just gonna look at your situation and judge you. I'm just saying. But, like, I'm a firm believer now on getting married and starting a family. I actually always been a firm believer on that. Like, I used to be like, I'm gonna be married when I'm 21, and I'm gonna have my first kid when I'm 22, and I'm gonna have my second kid when I'm 24, and I'm gonna have my last kid when I'm 26. So I was saying this as a young buck. Like, I think I was like in 9th grade or something like that. But, you know, like, the plan was never to be a single teenage mom. I said 21 because I'm like, I'm gonna just be finished at NYU and I'm gonna have my degree and I'm gonna be working, but we're getting married. Like, you know, like, I just had it all figured out, right? Wrong. So, you know, the plan was never to be a single mom. And I won't, for me, it won't work being a 2-time single mom. That's just how I feel right now. Like, God could probably have other plans for me, but that ain't working right now. So if I do not get married, I don't plan on having any more kids. But I do want 2 more kids. I still want my 3 kids. But it's just like, if I don't get married, if I know that I don't have that in-house support, you know, that unconditional love for my partner, and he's unconditionally loving our children, especially, not especially my child, but, you know, like, my child included, you taking my child on as your own, we ain't having no more kids. Like, well, when I say we, I mean like, but I do want to be able to get my son siblings one day. So, you know, like, that's just how I'm looking at it. But yeah, that's just the truth, like, about being a teen mom. Like, don't be a teen mom. Like, I'm against it, and I got every right to be against it because I've really been through it and I really lived through it, and I wasn't like one of those that wasn't just a teen mom. Like, no, I really was a teen mother. So I don't want that for like any young lady that I know. Like, when some of my girlfriends, you know, like, was telling me they was pregnant, this, and that, and I'm just like, yo, like, this ain't easy. This is not easy. It's about to get real, you know, like, and I will always try to persuade them to not have kids, not to have an abortion, but, you know, like, if, you know, like, they have a pregnancy scare or whatever the case may be, like, I'm going to be that voice of reason, because I know a lot of people ain't going to be that for you. A lot of people ain't really going to be real enough to, you know, like, break it down the way that it needs to be broken down. So it make your journey 10 times, maybe 15, 20 times more hard when you have a child, and then when you're doing everything for that child by yourself. And if I can do anything to persuade someone to not have a baby, I'm not saying persuade anyone to have an abortion. That's not what I'm saying, because I would never speak that over anybody. Your beliefs are your beliefs, boo. But if I can persuade you not to get pregnant in the first place while you are a teenager, then I've done my job. Because listen, it ain't it, okay? Babies are adorable. Babies are cute. Yes, they are. They're lovable. They just give you such a warm feeling inside. But at the end of the day, you have your whole life, not your whole life, because I mean, like, you got like a good, let me see, like 35. You know, some people they go over than 35. They be having like a good 10+ years in your adulthood life to have children. You don't need to have children like while you're a teenager. Like, that's not it. That's not it, boo. You have work to do, okay? You have work to do. And it's hard, you know, like, trying to figure yourself out, because you don't know yourself when you're a teenager. You don't. You might think, you know, you really have no idea. You don't even. I was that kid, yo. When I tell you I thought I knew everything, I really thought I knew everything. Didn't know shit. So, yeah, I was that kid. And I'm just like, wow, like, the person that I was and everything that I thought I knew, and I knew nothing at all, and I still don't know nothing. And I can admit that now, rather than saying, you know, thinking that I know everything. But yeah, you got a whole lot of life to live and to figure out, and mistakes to make, and lessons to learn. Like, you should just focus on that instead of trying to, you know, like, focus on starting a family. Especially when you don't even know if the dad will be there to help you out. That's just my take on teen pregnancy. But like I said, what do I know? I just want to leave y'all with a book. You know, I'm going to try to, you know, do this at the end of each of these videos. Just leave y'all with something that you may, you know, like, want to look into. This book is called The Motivation Manifesto by Brendan Bouchard. I don't know. He's the #1 best-selling author. But yes, it's called The Motivation Manifesto. I had this book since 2017, and I actually already read it once, but now I'm reading it again, and, you know, like, it's just like, wow, like, I can really resonate with it now because of the headspace that I'm in, because of where I'm at in my spirits, you know, like, on my journey. So yeah, this is a good book, a great book, The Motivation Manifesto. Don't forget that I said it. Writing down your goals that you have for yourself, and breaking them down into small goals, and, you know, breaking them down into small steps that you can take every single day, you know. And you can even do this, write down goals that I have, goals to achieve before I have a baby, just so we can make it a little bit relevant. This book is a little bit irrelevant to having a baby, but this is just a good ass book, and I just think that you should read it. But yes, reading and writing is fundamental, okay? And when you write those goals down, those goals become real. You know, write your action plan down. So you got your goals written down, and you got your action plans down, and you start taking steps toward what you need to do. You start following out that action plan. Your goals become 10 times more tangible, because now it's just not a hope or an aspiration. Now it's a legitimate thing that you are working towards. So that's all I have for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what other topics that y'all want me to talk about. It's about time that we get some guests up in here. I think for the next episode, we'll have a guest on. So stay tuned for the next episode. Hopefully everything goes according to plan, and I will see y'all then.